Welcome to the channel. In this video, I'm going to talk about the best kind of tools to buy for your loved ones for Christmas. Generally speaking, there's three different levels to the tools you buy based on where you go. If you go to Home Depot, you're looking at your Milwaukees, your Ridgids, your Ryobis. Those are some of the brands that you can find at Home Depot. You can also find a little bit of Bosch, things like that. Now, if you go to a Lowe's or Menards, the brands are going to be different, but they're probably all going to be relatively similar in quality and who makes the tools. A lot of this stuff is just different name brands, but the same manufacturers. So the tool lines that I typically use are what you would find at your Home Depot. I don't really go to Menards or Lowe's for tools, but the same concepts do apply to the other big box stores. But there's levels to this. There's levels to what kind of tools, and it really has a big impact on what kind of tools you want to buy for what kind of person. So, this video is geared to the person who is looking to buy tools for their loved ones, but maybe don't know exactly what kind of tools to get. So I'm going to start off with the Milwaukee tools that you find at Home Depot. They are more of the professional tool. They're more expensive. So if you're buying tools for someone who's really using them for work, day to day, Milwaukee is the way to go. Here's a look at our Milwaukee Super Sawzall. So if your loved one is in the construction industry, whether it be fencing, landscaping, carpentry, the Milwaukee Super Sawzall is the way to go. Additionally, one thing to really consider is your loved one in the Milwaukee brand of tools already? That is a big thing to consider. A lot of professionals are using Ridgid, different brands. A lot of professionals are using DeWalt. So whatever your loved one is using, or whoever you're buying a present for or gift for, whatever brand that they are already using, try to stick with that brand. Now, if you know that the particular person that you're buying a gift for is using Milwaukee, a really good gift to get for them is the high output red lithium high output battery. It's pretty expensive. Chances are they've been holding back on picking one of these up. They usually run about $250, and there may be some deals on them during the Christmas season, but the selling point for this battery is Milwaukee claims that it provides the same amount of power as if the tool was plugged in the wall. Now, that's debatable. It's probably a little bit less, but in our use, this battery has been the one that hasn't overheated in hot sun, working outside. We've pushed them real hard. We ran two of them, and just between the two, they've been able to rotate pretty good. Now, even their 9 amp hour high output batteries, they overheated on us a little bit, whereas the 12 amp hours didn't. So it makes a big difference. That's a huge gift if your loved one is, using tools for work. Maybe they're a mechanic. A lot of mechanics are using Milwaukee tools. Very rarely do you see a mechanic running like Ridgid hand tools. Some may use DeWalt, but right now the trend for a lot of mechanics is Milwaukee. So if you are buying gifts for somebody that is mechanic in the mechanic industry, Milwaukee's a good way to go. All right, moving forward, the Ridgid line of tools. A lot of guys in construction are using Ridgid tools because they are more affordable than Milwaukee, and they have really good quality. I've been running this drill for years, and it's never skipped a beat. It's never had any issues. So Ridgid's a good way to go. Their warranty, I believe, is lifetime. Even though it's lifetime, the warranty is not as good as the Milwaukee warranty. But the Ridgid tools, despite the warranty, now on paper the warranty is better, but in reality it's hard to get them to really cover things because of the lifetime warranty. They have a hotline that the phones aren't managed all that great. I'm sure if you really were motivated to get through to it, they honor their warranty system. But generally speaking, it's really easy to get through to Milwaukee, even though they only offer a couple years of warranty compared to the Ridgid. This is lifetime, but hard to get through. I've never really had any major issues with my Ridgid tools, not my hand tools. I bought a torpedo heater a while back and that had some problems, but their tools are great. The ergonomics are really good. They're pretty much on par with Milwaukee. The main difference is that you don't have the battery technology just yet with the Ridgids. If they had the bigger batteries, it'd be a huge contender. Also, they don't really have as good of a ecosystem for mechanic work, so it's kind of give or take. They don't have mechanic work and they don't have outdoor, or Milwaukee has a lot of mechanic tools and a lot of outdoor tools. But Ridgid is good if your loved one is already in the Ridgid ecosystem. And if someone's starting out, if they don't have any tools, maybe they're starting to do some home improvement stuff, Ridgid's a good way to go because it's a little bit more affordable than Milwaukee, and it's a good tool and a good place to start. All right, moving forward, the Ryobi tools, they are good as well. Now, they're the cheaper tools. They're not built quite as well, but for the weekend warrior, they are perfect. Now, I bought these tools when I got my house back in like 2014, and they have been pretty good. Now, if I were using these tools day in and day out for framing and heavy construction, they're not really precise enough for all that. Like when you're using your 45 degree angle cut on your miter saw here, it's not perfect. You know, you got to really play with it to get the perfect angles and things like that. Now you can really do good work still, but it is a little bit flimsier. Now the motors and everything have been great. It's never really broken down. So they're good in that sense, but are they the best? No, they're not the best. But at the end of the day, I've used this thing so little that it wouldn't make sense to have the best. You know, how often am I going to do trim work and things like that? The blades have not worn out because I haven't used them that much, and they don't even use the best blades. You know, they just put a cheap blade on there, and it's lasted me a long time just for the fact that I don't use it all the time. So for the weekend warrior, Ridgid or excuse me, Ryobi is the perfect tool to get for the weekend warrior. I have the table saw here, still runs great when I need to rip down a piece of wood. You know, you got to play with it a little bit to get the perfectly straight cuts that you want. But for someone who's only cutting something a couple times a year, the Ryobis are the way to go. If you don't have a ton of extra money, a lot of these tools are extremely affordable. You know, you may be looking at a saw for like $70. You know, one of these saws is probably like $40. And what are the odds that you're gonna ever wear it out? Because it is, you know, something that you use so rarely. So Ryobi for the weekend warriors, Ridgid if you got a little bit more extra money to spend, and for your construction guys, and Milwaukee for the mechanic world, the outdoors equipment, for the construction site, for the best battery technology that you can get. They have the 12 amp hour batteries. For your hardcore professionals, Milwaukee is the way to go. So anyway, comment below. Let me know if this video helped you out, if you're looking for gifts for your loved ones, and comment below, and hope to hear from you soon. Bye.